Hey, welcome to the Empowered Coach podcast. I'm your host, Richard Dale, and I'm excited to welcome Anja from Slovenia on the show today. Hi from Slovenia, Anja. Would love to find out more about you and your business.
Be here. Thanks for inviting me. We're probably gonna have a very nice chat. Just a little bit about me. I'm from Slovenia, Central Europe. I've been living here my entire life, except for my travels. I'm 36 and I'm an online fitness coach, running coach, High Rocks and Spartan coach. I've been in the online space for about almost a year right now. And prior to that, I've been an in-person coach for more than 10 years, almost 12. I started with running coaching and then slowly transitioned into fitness and first doing all the group exercises, focusing on high intensity workouts, and later on focusing more on one-on-one, which I find more interesting and more fulfilling.
Nice, love that. Um, One thing I'm always curious about, and I know this from, well, I have my opinion from my personal experience, but when you work in person and then you transition online, what I found is suddenly I missed some of the interaction, because I was just on the laptop all the time. So yeah, I'm curious how you find that balance and how you found that transition as well.
Yeah, I still keep a couple of people that I train in the gym. So I have around four, five, six clients max in the
Nice.
gym just to get out of the house. Because I found it really hard when you start building, there is no end to building. Like there can always be something more that you can still do and something more that you can still build or learn or whatever. Especially as a high achiever, it never stops. So you have to really like put yourself in your schedule. So the way to get out the house and to get to the gym myself, I actually schedule a session with the client. So this keeps me kind of going.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you saw through my soul there as a business owner. Like there is the trap in your own business of there's always something that could be done. Either you could be working on a client program, you could be making content, building out a new
Mm,
funnel. It's like you have to create some barriers. Whereas I stop here and then I rest and recharge and then I go again.
mhm. That's so true, yeah. So I'm dealing with this right now, how to put myself first again, because like everything comes from me. If I'm okay, if my cup is full, then I
Yeah.
can give to others. If it's not, then why am I even preaching about self-care? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going through the same, right? And I think I go through waves where I feel, and it kind of compounds, right? When you feel stressed, sometimes you do the things that aren't good for you. Like you do more work and you do less of the things that actually are going to facilitate you getting out of that stressful time. So for me right now, like doing less and almost trusting the process rather than trying to force it and overwork things is creating a nice balance for me right now. But I think we go through different seasons where
Mhm.
sometimes we're working crazy hours, sometimes we're not so much. Is that the same for you?
It is for sure, yeah. But we have to always come back to where it all started, which was our own self-care. Like we started
Mm.
doing sports, we started seeing good results, and it started here. And then when you start helping others, sometimes you forget about that moment that actually brought you to the place where you are now. And it's definitely, yeah, it is the same, yeah.
Mm.
It's also funny you mentioned that sometimes when you're stressed, you not don't have very good decisions, or you maybe put even more stress on you.
Mm.
And it's funny, I don't know why, but like I notice that with my clients a lot of times when everything is like hard, like when lives give them challenges, and I don't know, they have some problems in their personal or professional life, what they would do instead of taking better care of themselves, they would like make it even worse by eating junk. Like I don't know why we do that, but it's so common. Like they would make
Mm.
it even worse, making, I don't know, not
Yeah.
move, like sleep have bad sleep habits and all of these things. I don't know why we do that, but like it's very, very common. And
Yeah.
I think in these
It
moments, like when you have the feeling that you don't have time for yourself, you need to take it even more.
yeah, it's so frustrating because it's we understand intellectually almost what we're doing, but it's like so deep like it's our human nature. We can't control it. And I think, yeah, there's some comfort in there, like you say, you eat the bad foods or you stay up watching late, maybe you have a drink. But yeah, I find the same like with some of the clients that I work with. As soon as one behavior goes, whether that's, not getting the sleep or whether it comes from missing a few days at the gym, inevitably the other bad behaviors then start to creep into.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's like a chain.
And what's funny as well is why we reward ourselves with junk and bad habits. For example, oh, it's my birthday. Let's drink like crazy. Let's go out and let's just not
Yeah.
sleep, Or I don't know, like why do we do that? And okay, I finished this project. Now I can just eat all the things and I can just drink like crazy, get drunk and get drugged. I don't why we do that. It's just crazy. Why don't we reward ourselves with some good meal? But yeah.
Yeah. A, a reward for me right now is being in bed by like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
so much better than the thought of just going out and getting drunk.
Yeah, true, true, true.
But
Same here. Same here.
a spa day. Would love to know like what was the point that you made the decision to take your business online, and how did you make that transition?
Hmm. So after 10 years of just having the same routine, I was like, I was too comfortable, and not being able to help more people because, like, you only have a certain amount of hours per day. And I was really, I don't know, I just always liked this international environment. I always, like, my goal, even when choosing which university to go to, I was studying translation. Nobody needs me because of the AI now, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I chose this. I was like just like talking to myself like a year ago, and I was like, okay, so why did you even choose this university? Because you wanted location freedom, right? And then I had a relationship with somebody from the US, and it was just like maybe the thought of, yeah, I mean, there was no other way. I needed to bring my business with me anywhere I go. So this is what kind of like triggered me to change something. And like I said, I was not challenged anymore. It was just same routine day by day. And what I did was in September last year, I just quit everything and I said, okay, so I need to reset, and I know everything is going to be okay at the end, but I just need to do not do this routine for a couple of months. So I traveled to the US and I spent some time there, and not long after, so like 2 weeks after arriving to the US, I joined the mentoring program for scaling fitness businesses, and yeah, that's the rest is history. I
Yeah, and
think
how did you
it's
find
go.
the
Yeah.
yeah, I was going to say how did you find the process? Like, did you find it easy? Did you find, because a lot of the time it's a very different skill set, right? Like being a trainer in person and attracting clients online is like, how did you find it?
First of all, I realized that my clients from the gym, they were not ready for this transition because what they needed was completely different. They needed company, they needed somebody to be there to talk to, and they were not really maybe focusing so much on, any work that they could also do at home, such as like changing their nutrition, maybe other habits. Like some of them, yes, but a lot of them not really. While people who come to me and want to work with me online, I know already by joining that they will definitely be willing to work for themselves by themselves and on a long term, even when I'm gone, even when we stop collaborating. So this is for me, um, I love this. And I can see better results by doing online coaching. Of
Mm.
course, it depends because in person, I also was working with some athletes. It was totally different, because I work with runners, I work with Spartan racers, and then I do fat loss. So it's a completely different world.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the same. You know, you have more control over what's a holistic approach, right? You're looking at how
Yeah,
many times they're working out, what they're doing, what they're eating, what their sleep, what the rest is. Whereas in person, it can be, sometimes if you're a really busy trainer, you just see that person for 1 hour and then you see them next week for 1 hour and that's it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so yeah, I think the value works both ways, in terms of time invested for you is better than having just 4 hours of, just counting reps and the value that they see, because ultimately they just want a result most of the time, right? And if you can fine tune everything to get them to that result quicker, then I think it's an amazing win for both parties.
true.
How
Yeah.
how do you track like where do most of your clients come from? Do they come from Instagram? Do they still come from your network or the gym?
Mm, they usually reach out through Instagram, I would say 90% of the time. But I found that the ones who actually work with me right now, they have known me for some time.
Mm,
You need to build some kind of trust, even if they were quiet and just watching from, the background and never communicating with me. I found that either they know somebody who worked with me or know somebody who knows me, or they were just following for some time. Of course, there's exceptions, the ones who just followed and wanted to work with me instantly, but I guess I convinced them with something.
yeah.
But I think the word of mouth is very powerful, or and just like them following you for a long time and identifying with some of your struggles, maybe.
Yeah, 100%. I think trust is probably the biggest thing right now in the industry because there is so many trainers and maybe people have been burned. Like I've certainly taken on clients that have worked with other coaches and had bad experiences and then kind of formed an opinion about what coaching is. So I think trust is so important. And sometimes that's more difficult to build online than it would be when you just go to the gym and start having a conversation with someone, right?
Actually, online is harder for sure. Yes, if you have no experience in person, then I think it's even hard. I mean, definitely, it's even harder. All this experience, like 10 plus years of coaching, at least I have confidence that I know what I'm doing and that I can bring people results. If I didn't have this experience, then you can feel that, no
Yeah.
matter how good my
Yeah.
marketing is, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's learning, well, it's learning a new skill set because you can have someone that is not a good trainer, but they are very good at social media
Hmm.
and they attract clients with these, right? Because they create the right messaging versus someone who's extremely experienced but doesn't quite know how to put things together, and build that trust and build the content. I think that's where a lot of frustrations come from people entering the industry because they're like, I'm so much better than that person. They shouldn't be saying that, but they
Yeah,
struggle to attract people in, right?
yeah. I mean, once you start working with a person who has good marketing but no skills, then you would notice, okay, shit, maybe that was not a good decision. But like, it is so frustrating. Like, and I can tell you from my experience, like, I am not a very, I don't know, I don't really like to show my face so much, like, like speaking to the camera. So I was struggling with that for so long. While out there, there were so many people, like, with not even half as experienced as me, crushing it, you know? And it is a frustration, but like you need to just sometimes you need to force yourself, do
Mm.
something, be uncomfortable like crazy, and then over time it will get better. It always gets better.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that's something I struggled with and still struggle with is that imposter syndrome and that kind of putting yourself out there. And at the very beginning of my coaching, kind of putting myself out there on Instagram, it was just Canva graphics, right? It wasn't even pictures of me. And then slowly
Hmm.
I started introducing pictures of me. Um, and then yeah, I remember thinking I need to do video content. And I remember walking down the road, like trying to film something, not live, just like practicing. I just couldn't get my words out. I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this. But fast forward like a few years, and I am able to do it. You know, I can host live workshops, I can go live, I can do the stuff, but there's still resistance there. There's still self-doubt there. But it's
Mm.
over time when you just move through the fear and you put the reps in, you get better and you get more confident with it.
Yeah, I think one thing is character, how you were born, and the other is the skill. And I think it always remains inside because I was so shy as a little girl. Like, please don't look at me, please don't say anything to me. I don't want to speak up. Like I was in this choir and I was like standing in the back, like just hiding behind other people. That's who I was. And actually, like my character was built through sport. When I started running, it was around the age of 12, I think. And I started noticing I'm pretty good at running. Maybe I can be a cool kid, you know? And I was running more and more and more and more. And I think I built confidence through running. I mean, I know I did that. So it is also funny, like from coming from the shyest child ever, going to the gym, yelling at 30 people at the same time, like do push up, you know, like it's crazy to me, but it's personal growth. But it stays here. It's always here. This little Anya, you know, or little Richard. I think it's always there, but you just need to control it. And it gets better, but it's always scary. And for me, it's also, English is not my first language, obviously, and it's even harder to go out there and just like speak freely. I don't I could, but I didn't kind of like push myself yet just go live and speak freely. Maybe yes, doing live with somebody else, I'm okay with that, but not with myself. So I think that's the next step. Another
Yeah,
thing that I noticed, which is funny, is like I built my Instagram with English language. Like since I started, I was speaking English, and I just can't, like Slovenian would be even harder. Yes, easier to find words, but like I can't put myself out there with my own language, which is funny, isn't it? I don't know why.
that's really interesting.
Maybe this means like putting more of my natural self out there. I don't know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think maybe yeah, more of little Anya, yeah, the true identity. Or maybe you know what they say, the obstacle is the way. Like when something feels like there's a lot of resistance, it's like I need to move into that because on the other side of that, it's going to be something amazing. But
Mm,
there's always the next level, right? It's like once you've done the live, once you've spoken in Slovenian, it's going to be like, what's next? Speaking in front of, a big auditorium of people. It's like,
hmm.
there's always going to be something scary. Um,
Yeah.
and even the best speakers always say, they still get super like butterflies and nerves, ahead of speaking. So it is innate in all of us. But what I love about doing these interviews is just sharing that because I know so many people go through the same thinking patterns of coming in and thinking, oh, everyone is so much better than me and they're so much more confident. And then they might look at your page and be like, God, incredible. She must have just been always be able to do this. When actually it's just not the case at all.
No, it's just pushing yourself. And as long as you have these butterflies, you're still growing, which is good. I think the whole purpose of life is just growing and trying to
Yeah,
figure out as much as you can about yourself.
yeah. And then teaching someone else, right? That's the kind of purpose of us being coaches is handing down that knowledge and passing that, what we've learned on to others.
Yes, it's beautiful. Because I've seen people, like one of my clients, like through our process, a couple of months into our process, she quit her job. And I'm like, seriously? She built so much confidence. I think the most important thing I want to give people is this confidence that I learned
Yeah.
through sport and through taking care of myself. And like once you follow some steps and you build your discipline, it means you're keeping promises to yourself, and it just gives you some self-respect, and then you are like able to, set some boundaries for other people too and for other situations. So this is the most beautiful thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I love that. And I've had coaches, clients the same, where they've transitioned careers. And I think the work that we do as coaches is so undervalued in that fitness and, well, I think it's where it all starts, right? Is getting your body healthy to create then, a healthy mind to create the energy that you need to be able to do the things that you want. Because without that foundation, it's just really, really hard. People get just trapped in the stress and the overwhelm because their body and their mind isn't conditioned to move past that.
Hmm. Yeah.
I would love to know what sort of clients do you want to attract or like to work with? What do they look like, and what pains do they have?
Hmm. So right now in the online space, I started focusing more on women, my age, or like let's say 30 plus, a little younger, or like my age plus, because that's who I can identify with the most. And I know women's struggles more than I know men's struggles. Um, and like to I like to help women who think they don't have time and who are very overwhelmed with business, with jobs, with career, with even children. I don't have children myself, but I can imagine. I mean, I can see, and I try to help them as much as I possibly can. You know, how to include family into their workouts, how to be a role model, and how to just make the process as easy as possible and still get results. Um, yeah, and
Nice.
yeah, I try to encourage women to also like think about joining some kind of challenge, such as Spartan race. You know, I do Spartan races a lot and high rocks, and I managed to convince a couple of clients to try all these things because like through these physical challenges you come out so much stronger and you get this feeling that okay, so I'm a warrior now, like I can just handle anything life throws at me, which is also what I learned through this sport, and I continue to do this because like it just gives me the power, it gives me fuel, I'd say,
Mm.
for all the challenges. Yeah.
Nice. I love that. And it makes it fun as well,
Oh yeah.
having an event rather than just going and pushing weights.
Yeah, and you know what, it also takes their mind off of just like scale. They stop focusing on appearance so much and they have this
Mm.
challenge. And you know, fat loss follows when you have fun. And I think you mentioned before that you need to have more fun, to relax more and trust the process more. And I think the whole point of everything you do is having as much fun as you possibly can, because then your energy is good and good things come to you.
Beautifully said. I love that. And it's so true. Yeah, sometimes we focus too much on the problem, whereas the problem can be solved as just by relaxing into it, having fun and just building those habits.
Yeah.
Um, with social media, what are some of your bugbears? So like um, things you dislike about social media, whether that's as a creator or as a consumer of social media.
As a creator, maybe the fact that it's not really fair. I feel like living in Slovenia actually limits me a little bit with the reach. Um, there's a lot of things, a lot of features on Instagram that we can't use while the rest of the world can use it. For example, music, we don't have access to all the music. So I'm trying to help myself with VPNs and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's not really fair when it comes to um, pushing out like quality content or just the same all the content like with the same push. And as a consumer, I think there's a lot of bad information also, a lot of fake fitness coaches with no experience just sharing, some toxic information, and people are just lost because of that. They don't know who to follow, how to follow, and what to do on their journeys. So it can be a little confusing, I think.
Yeah. So I didn't know that about Slovenia. I didn't know that there was certain features and uh, so I guess that's like a copyright infringement or something like that with the music.
I think there's a license that you have to purchase to be able to use all the features from the app. So
Mm.
I guess we don't have that.
Mm.
That's sad. That's sad. It is sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with the points you made on social media. I think my main bugbear is we all know it's fake. Like 99% of what we are putting out there is not real. Even the perfect sunset or like the selfie picture, we are just projecting perfect selves all the time, um, which I think creates an environment in our head where we then feel like we're not good enough. I never feel good after scrolling. Like if I end up mindlessly scrolling, I always feel deflated and de-energized afterwards because like my brain's going, oh, I'm not good enough. Like why are these people living such good lives? Why do these people have so much more than me when I know actually it's not reality? What's your thoughts on that?
I can totally, I could say I'm only using social media to get ideas for my business. But yes, I can see other content as well, but I'm not focusing on that. So I don't really care so much how others are living their life. So this is not bothering me because we all know how things are, put out there. But it does bother me when people have such good content and I'm like, oh my God, how did she record this? How can I do that? Oh my God, so much work. Am I able to? Where did this trainer get this idea? So it's pretty much the same, just different content that's bothering me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we are all like, no matter how, like, we all know everything's fake. Or even now, like, I'm trying to get the best angle for this podcast. Like, why? It's just you. Who cares? And why do I have to record my
Yeah.
content 10 times to find a video where I look good? Like, that's just who you are. Like, you look the way you look. Like, just get over it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's that perfectionist trap, isn't it? Where it's like
Mm.
we feel like it needs to be at a certain level before we put it out there because then people will judge us on how good our content is. Yeah. It's something I'm trying to lean into more is just trying to allow space to create more authentic stuff, you know, no fancy edits, no fancy like one to allow um less time in the content creation because you can like I spent like a whole day making a piece of content the other day and I was just like afterwards I was just so drained. Um I need to free up more time, but also I realized that there's the little Richard that interferes there of like trying to perfect something that I put it out that I want to kind of try and move past that and just be like, hey, this is me, you know, and put it out into the world.
A challenge in August. Let's just put out as much of raw content as possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and I need to get live by myself. Oh my God, I don't want to promise you that, but I really wish I can do that in August.
Well, you've said it on the podcast now, Anya. So we're manifesting that in August. Maybe
Okay.
maybe we'll do a joint live together.
Yeah, we can. Sure, why not?
Yeah, amazing. We're at half an hour. This chat has gone like I feel like we could talk for a lot longer, but I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for joining the podcast, sharing all your insights, and really love your perspective on business and life in general. And I'll drop your Instagram and any other links in the notes below so people can follow and support you. And wishing you the best with your business. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. And see you soon.